today I'm going to show you guys how to crochet this super cute chunky octopus. So this one is made with chunky blanket yarn, and this one is made with just wait for acrylic yarn, but they are the exact same pattern. So this pattern works with any type of yarn, you just need to adjust the hook size. So for this I'm going to use Bernat blanket yarn. I'm going to use a 7mm crochet hook, and you're also going to need a stitch marker, some stuffing, and you're going to need some safety eyes, or you can just embroider them, and you're also going to need a yarn needle. So to begin, you're going to make a magic circle, and I know some blanket yarn snaps or things like that when you try to make a magic circle, so if you want you can just do the chain 2 method, but I like to do the magic circle. And you're gonna chain 2 from your magic circle, so you should have something like this, and then you're gonna make 10 single crochets in your magic circle. Now that you have 10 single crochets in your magic circle plus the chain 2 that you did at the beginning, just pull your magic circle as tight as possible. So now you have this, and you can add your stitch marker to the last single crochet that you made in your magic circle to mark the last stitch of every row, like this. Now you're done your first row. For the second row, you're gonna do 1 increase in the first stitch, which is your chain 2. So you're gonna do 2 single crochets in that same stitch, and in the next stitch you're gonna do 1 single crochet. And then in the next one, you're gonna do 2 single crochets. So you're gonna do that until you get to your stitch marker. So you're gonna do 1 increase and 1 single crochet all the way around. So now we just did an increase. So we're gonna do 1 single crochet in the next stitch, then 1 increase. And you do that until you get to your stitch marker. Now I'm back at the stitch right before the stitch marker, so I'm just going to take it out, and the stitch that I just did was just 1 single crochet, so this is where the stitch marker was. So I'm going to do 1 increase in here, and I'm going to put my stitch marker in the last single crochet that I just did to mark that stitch. So now you should have 17 stitches all the way around. And for the next 3 rows, you're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So when you're done your 3 rows of single crochet, you should have just a little ball like this with a big opening at the bottom. So now we're going to start making the little tentacles here. So what you're going to do is you're just going to chain 3 from the last stitch that you made. 1, 2, 3, and in the third chain from the hook here, 1, 2, 3, you're gonna do 2 half double crochets. 1, 2. So now you should have something like this, and next you're gonna single crochet twice in the next 2 stitches here, but in the front loop only. So you're going to leave the back loop empty here. So you're going to do 1 single crochet in the front loop only here. And you're going to do 1 single crochet in the front loop of the next stitch also. And that leaves us with the back loops here so that we can close it up after. But now to make the next tentacles, you're just going to do the same thing you did here. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do 2 half double crochets in the third chain from the hook. 1, 2, and now you're going to do 1 single crochet in the front loop only here, and again in the next stitch in the front loop only. So now you have the 2 little tentacles here. You're going to do this 6 more times to have 8 little tentacles. So you're going to do 3 chains again, and you just do this same little thing here 6 more times to have 8 tentacles, and make sure you're always single crocheting in the front loops here. Now that you have your 8 tentacles, you should be at the stitch right before you put your stitch marker. So you can take your stitch marker out and put it where you did your last single crochet. And now this is when I like to add the eyes to my octopus before we close up the bottom. So I usually put them between the 3rd and 4th row. Three to 4 stitches apart. You can really put them where you think they look best. It's really up to you on the size of eyes you use. If you want your octopus to have bigger eyes, that's up to you. So I just added the eyes to my octopus. But for the row earlier where we did the tentacles, we only worked in the front loops. So now it leaves us with the back loops to close up this octopus. So you're gonna single crochet into the first loop here that we have left from the previous row. So you're just gonna do 1 single crochet here, and now you're gonna decrease all the way around. So these are the back loops here that we're gonna work with. With chunky yarn, it's a bit harder to see, so if you have trouble seeing your stitches, it might be better to use regular weight for yarn. But so you're going to use this back loop here, and you're going to decrease. You're going to do 1 single crochet with 2 of the previous stitches. So you're going to decrease all the way around. So now that you're back where you had put your stitch marker, I just removed mine. You're gonna slip stitch in the next stitch. And now you can fasten off and leave a long enough tail because we still have to close up this hole after we stuff it. There we go. So now we have a little hole left here where we're gonna put our stuffing. My octopus is all stuffed now, so we're gonna take our yarn needle and we're gonna close up that remaining hole with the tail we left. So I just like to go through each stitch, make sure we don't get the tentacles in here. So I go through each stitch to make sure that that hole is closed up. And when I get back to where I started, we're just gonna pull tight to really close up that hole. And I like to do a few knots and weave my yarn a little bit everywhere just to make sure it's not coming apart. So I do knots here, weave here. Everybody kind of does this differently, so that's completely up to you how you want to really close it off. I know a lot of people are like me and they like to make a lot of knots to really make sure that it's not coming apart at all. There we go. Now I'm just going to weave it through to the top and poke it through here. And I'm going to cut that right here and stuff that back in there. And our octopus is all done. So these are made with the chunky yarn, and this is my little keychain size with weight for acrylic yarn. So This pattern can literally be made with any type of yarn, you just need to adjust your hook size. They are so easy and fun to make. So these are a great beginner pattern, and they're even great for making for markets or just to sell, because once you get the hang of these, you can even memorize the pattern pretty quick, and they work up so quick. I can make them in less than 10 minutes each, so they work up so quick, and they're just so fun to make. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns about this video and this pattern, and I'll be happy to help you guys. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!